Crystal,
Okay,
you're
so-
muted. You're muted.
Who's muted?
Hello.
There you go.
Welcome.
I had myself muted. Or else you're gonna hear my dog barking.
It is 6 o'clock according to the Elmira fire alarm that just went off. So I call this meeting to order.
Okay.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
Okay. Do we need to move the minutes? I always forget.
I think we always do.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, who wants to move the minutes?
I'll move them.
Okay, who wants to second?
I'll second, Anne.
All right, all in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
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 Awesome. Anyone opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Treasurer's report. Jack, that's your cue.
Any questions? We're doing very good, even in these hard times. So if there's no questions, I'm gonna move them.
That's because that woman gave us all the money. Olga, we have
Yes.
to Olga every time. Look at
It all helps.
Memorial.
Anyone want a second?
Yeah, I'll second. Anne.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
Okay, it passes. So unpaid bills. Does anyone have any questions about the various unpaid bills?
I have a question about the Chemung County Buildings and Grounds Department. That there are 4 separate bills for different amounts. I was just curious about why they broke it out like that and what they're for.
Well, I just find that I am more accurate that way when I'm so sorry about the confusion. I don't know, maybe next time I could put a note into what they pertain to. So those are Big Flats, Horseheads, West, and Steel. And the higher number is always the utility. Big Flats is the 266.34. Big Flats is the first one. And 2/3 of that is utilities, and then they only had 64 in maintenance fee. And Horseheads is the 1152.31, and that's all utilities. They had no maintenance fees. The 264.73 is West, and again 2/3 of that is utilities. They only had 73.44 in maintenance fees, and then the big whopper is Steel, the 85.63, and again 2/3 of that was utilities. They had $1,500 in maintenance fees. So I'll try to make that more clear next time. I just find that I'm more accurate when I put it in separately instead of, like all one line, but I'll try to make it a little more identifying next time.
That's okay. So each one is for a separate library.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
Molly.
Are there any other
What
questions?
happened to Van Etten?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't Van Etten owned by the town?
yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we get billed by the town?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen, I think she's just part of that building. So I don't think I've ever seen anything. We pay, there's a separate internet that Halafel or something is the provider. I'm probably saying it wrong. And that's an annual thing, but I think that's about all. About all.
No, the town has been very gracious with the library being out there. I mean, I have to say, there's no complaints whatsoever with the relationship.
Good.
I move it then.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nope.
Okay. Was your note, no one is opposing, or you saying I oppose?
Who
And-
said, I don't know who said anything.
Oh, I thought you said,
I raised my hand for aye.
okay, I heard you say nope, which is why I was confused. for a
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
moment.
Didn't
Okay.
mean to confuse you.
All right, so that has been approved. Do we have anything for correspondence?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Oh.
It's a red letter day here at the district. I've got a thank you from a gentleman named Bernard Bernadez. He's writing to thank Owen, Pam, Kelly, and Becky from Horseheads. He's composing a book about Judy Garland, Sylvia Plath, bisexuality, and the so-called silver screen area. He thanks them because they've gotten him as many as 20 books at a time.
Oh, wow.
He says the employees are more than helpful, but also invaluable in my study for my book. So he was very pleased.
Very good.
We got a thank you to Deb, John, and the volunteers for supplying Watkins Glen Public Library with face shields, as well as their neighbors next door at the International Motor Racing Research Center. They're thanking them for protecting the staff. We got a thank you from Irway Ambulance Service for the face shields. They say they're appreciative that we thought of them. We got a thank you letter from the Elmira Psychiatric Center. We gave them 200 face shields, and they just wanted to thank us for our kind, selfless efforts. And you are among the very best of our greater Elmira Chemung community, and you are making a significant difference for the betterment of our community. I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
So who else did we give face shields to? We gave them to both the hospitals.
I could get you a list, but it's like more than I can remember.
Yeah.
Right now.
So like off the top of your head, like how many different organizations would you say? Because I want to like mention that in my letter to the editor.
Oh, gosh, there's so many.
Yeah.
They gave some to the Big Flats Museum.
Yeah, you know what? Let me get the right number for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, they gave them to places I'm not even aware of.
right.
Alrighty.
And one thing, I wanted to mention one thing about the video on YouTube, Ron. That was very good. I saw it yesterday, finally.
Oh, good, good.
If any of you have not seen that, you should tune in to see the making and how they set up the whole library with stations. Yeah.
I've forgotten how to get to it. Does anybody?
Well, Ron had it on a message last week.
There's email, yeah.
Yeah, I
email.
sent it out.
Saw that.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, Phyllis, let me know. I can resend it to you.
Well, is
Yeah.
it also linked from the website?
I didn't even check. I just have the direct link.
I
It's
don't
on
know.
the YouTube.
Not linked from the website? It should be.
It
Yeah,
should be on the
it should,
YouTube
really.
page.
Uh-huh. It should be. It's very nice. I hope you win the award, whatever the award is.
That's a certificate, but I don't know. I feel kind of, I'm not sure the right word, but I expect to win it every time we submit. So
Yeah, you did win last year.
we've been fortunate. We've won 5 or 6 video awards. So
It's because maybe nobody else does them.
well, actually, no, we do have competition with South Central.
Oh, good.
So, but we like to, we like to win anyway.
Yeah.
I got another letter from, what is it? Senior Director at Arnett Health, Lisa Ventura, thanking us for the donation of 525 face shields.
Wow.
He said, words cannot express how much we appreciate you taking the time, thinking of us, and doing your part to help as we all work to get through this difficult time. She said that they're directing the donation towards the Arnett Health System's highest priority needs. And they said our donation will undoubtedly make a difference. I have a letter, Rachel, I need you to sign.
Oh,
It's for the Cusick Family Grant. We get it every year through the Community Foundation. It's in the amount of $3,650. So I just need you to sign that. I have to sign it and then we can send it in.
Wow.
So, I'll be there like 12:40, 12:45-ish tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Okay.
And we got a donation. I don't know if I mentioned this one before, from Karen M. Yamasaki from the Fidelity Charitable Donor Advised Fund. There was no designation of how we use it, so we'll look at which account needs the money the most.
Is it
Again.
anything we need to vote to approve, or is it under the?
It's under 1,000, so we're
Okay.
good. That's it as far as correspondence.
Okay, so moving on to President's Report. So I don't really have much of anything to report. I noticed that our circulation numbers continue to improve, which is nice. I have a plan that I'm going to be writing to the Elmira Star Gazette for an editorial on the library in support of the library board budget. I'll be writing that and submitting that this weekend. I know Anne has already written and submitted hers. Thank you, Anne.
Mhm.
And
May I say something about the circulation report? Off on my printer was January and February. Did anybody else have, or did they get the whole year?
You
I did
should
not
have,
print it off. I just read it on the screen, so I cannot comment upon that.
Oh,
I think if you print it off, it goes to 2 pages.
no, it didn't. I usually, that's all right. I'll check out my printer. But when I went to read what I just printed off and then I read it. I said, oh, this isn't very helpful. So I'll try to figure out what's wrong with my apparatus here.
Okay. So our numbers in terms of plague continue to rise exponentially. So I hope you're all staying safe, taking precautions, especially those of you who are part of the more susceptible groups. And we're also continuing to monitor the situation in case there is a second shutdown. A number of areas, schools have shut down, which I understand is putting a strain on our staff.
Yes.
How are we handling that? How's that going?
Well, we had one person who was off because her daughter's school was closed. It's since reopened, so she's back to work. We've had, Holly, we've had how many people? I know we've had Amy, Maggie.
Yeah, Michelle was off for a
Michelle.
few days, but honestly, I think everybody is really pulling together pretty well. Janet was out. She had to self-quarantine for a while, and but it's good to have her back in the building this week. And even when she was out, she was, checking email throughout the day and always available, via phone. And but so overall, it has there were a few days there was definitely a skeleton crew, but I think that everybody pulled together. Kim, the bookmobile driver, just did a great job. She jumped in at the last minute. She was on the schedule. I know she helped me out. She was a real asset. The bookmobile isn't back on the road yet, so that was just kind of a mixed blessing there. And so things have settled down a little bit this week, but yeah, we've definitely had a handful out already, with school closings. So kind of taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
So what is our policy regarding that? So are they taking vacation time? Are they working from home? Is it, varied by person? So like someone was working from home, but other people were just taking vacation time. How did we handle that? And do we have any policies about that?
Well, I know, for example, a couple people have taken that leave that's been authorized by the government, the up to 14 days. So they've been taking that. We've had someone who was off but wasn't eligible for the leave, so they're taking vacation. And it's an individual situation we're looking at. I mean, we're obviously trying to do it consistent for everybody, but we do have to look at the unique circumstances in each instance.
And if I'm not mistaken, that 14 days is just 14 days.
Yep.
It's not multiple instances of 14 days.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's assuming only one exposure or one positive testing.
Right. We've had people take off just a couple days of that and return to work after they got the negative test. But the thing is, they'll get up to the 14 days and that's it, just like you said.
Yeah.
So,
And then they can apply for the additional 10 weeks at 2/3 of their pay. So thankfully we haven't gotten to that point yet, but even with school closing, they'll qualify under that Families First Coronavirus Response Act, something along those lines. So so potentially they could have up to 12 weeks, but we're just kind of keeping track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may continue. That's all there is to it. I mean, they may need time off.
yeah, I think they may need mental time off, to be honest with you.
Well, that too.
I'm very serious. I mean, some people are extremely stressed over this.
I know.
You
I'm
know,
one of
I'm one of them too.
I've turned to painting my porch and my garage doors just to keep busy. And I don't like it.
But no, well,
You have to stay home, you have to do something. And it's either that or sewing. So,
well, I don't sew, so I'll keep coming to work. But we'll keep monitoring the situation, keep a handle on it. One of my concerns is if we get too many people off, we'd have to rethink Saturdays because of Saturday coverage. Saturdays are typically a skeleton crew. It's just how it's always been.
yeah.
So that would be a consideration. Should the numbers in the county get worse or we get any guidance, we may go back. I would recommend we go back to the 5-day-a-week routine. Again, depending on how the numbers go and if we hear anything from the county. But I just wanted you to be aware those are possibilities.
We're not.
And you will keep us abreast of all of that as
Yes.
you normally do when
Yeah.
things change.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Oh, I like your blanket. That's cool. Is that I just saw Penny knitting. What are you making?
Oh, how pretty.
It's a blanket.
Nice.
It's look like the ocean waves.
It's very
Oh.
pretty.
Pretty.
I like it. Very pretty.
When I can't get to the beach, maybe I can curl up with a blanket that makes me think that I'm laying on the beach.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's it for my president's report, even though Ron did most of the reporting. Ron, would you like to do a director's report?
Sure. We spoke to the union about the dental coverage. They're saying that as long as the Guardian coverage is the same as Excelis, they have no problem with it. They would just have to execute a memorandum of agreement, changing the name in the contract so that, again, it's an official document.
Okay, I was gonna wait until the end and we can agree to, because it's a contract issue, it has to be handled in executive session. Is that so I was gonna wait, we'll go to executive session at the end, discuss, and then vote to approve or disapprove, whichever. But
Okay.
I'm glad the union has a chance to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, basically, the only things I really had to talk about, other than buildings and grounds, which Carl will help me explain what's going on. Again, just the staff, they're doing their job, they're doing well. Again, a few issues, but under the circumstances, it's definitely expected. Anecdotally, this evening is kind of dead. I went out there 5:30, 5:45, and there was like 3 people in the building. So it's anecdotally in the evening. Thursday's always the slowest day anyway. But anecdotally, it's been pretty dead. So the other days are better.
Our hours haven't changed. Are they the same as the last time we heard?
Yes, yes. Except now, don't forget, we go to Saturdays on October 17th.
Oh,
Oh, okay, that's what I didn't know.
We'll be open 1 to 5.
oh,
We based that on discussion with the department heads to see what they thought would fit best with the hours for the staff and everything else.
Oh, wow, just,
and are people allowed in the building longer now?
We're giving them 30 minutes.
Only 30? Okay.
because I know we had discussed last time extending that to an hour.
Yeah.
Is there just not the demand for it that we anticipated?
No. The only people that have asked, or excuse me, I've only had 2 patrons complain to me directly about the time, and it's only for the computer usage.
Ah, the teens haven't been clamoring then.
No, no. She's had a few kids in, but
Mm,
you know, nothing, nobody doing homework, it doesn't seem to be.
okay.
Well, it's a shame that we've got this lovely teen space and now teens can't even congregate in it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you build it, they will come, sooner or later.
Right. Once, they can actually come, yeah.
Yeah. But no, actually, that's all I got until we get to buildings and grounds.
Okay. So committee reports, executive committee. You got the minutes. Does anyone
Yeah.
have any questions about those minutes?
No.
Anyone else? Okay, so if there's no questions, we'll move on to the next committee. Next committee, budget and finance. Jack, do we have anything that we didn't already cover in the,
Nope, we've got it all covered.
okay. Buildings and grounds.
All right, so they got our executive committee meeting. We had open bids for doing the kitchen renovation project.
Mhm.
And I talked to Ron earlier today, and there was a issue with Elmira Structures bid that they didn't have the bonds in the bid. It wasn't that they didn't have them, they just didn't have them. Of course, when I start talking, I get attacked. But, so because the bids weren't there, the 2 bidders were Streeters and Elmira Structures. Streeters said that, they didn't have a real complete bid. I also think having just 2 bids is kind of a little bit of an issue. I talked to some people at work about what we should do, and I think our best course of action, especially because we have taxpayer money, is that we put it out for bid again and try to get solicit for more bidders, and that way we don't have any issues with anything being wrong. I know of one other contractor, Dan Williams Construction, who is looking for work right now, so I'm pretty sure he would bid on it. So at least we'd get another bidder.
How many
And we
bids
could
do we normally
potentially-
get for projects?
We normally get 3, I think, don't we?
We try to get 3 at least.
Okay.
So if
Is
you don't
this-
bid something out and it's under that limit and you want to just do something, the typical rule is you get 3 quotes and prices. When it comes to bidding, you get what you get. But I mean, a lot of our bids we get 5 or 4, something like that. So
Okay. So there isn't any pressing time crunch in terms of this. So if we did put it out to bid, it wouldn't be like, oh no, that means we won't get this particular funding or whatever.
No, all of the funding from this is from reserve funds that we've set aside specifically for this project.
Okay.
So as this is an example that happened to us a few years ago. We had a project. It was an open, a bid opening at 1 o'clock. One of the contractors showed up at 1:02. No one had a problem, but he ended up being the low bidder. So one of the other contracts said, well, you've thrown that out, right? Because he was 2 minutes late. So we ended up just throwing everything out. We did a short bid window. So we could also do that if we wanted to. We could do like a 1 week bid window. I would think it's worth going 2 or 3 weeks and trying to get some more people. But, we rebid it. Everyone came in with the exact same numbers they had before. So nothing really changed, but we just made sure that we did it right. And that was actually a county bid that got opened by the county, our county government. So
Right.
I think it's worth making sure we're doing it correctly.
Okay. Do we want to vote on that?
I don't
Do
think,
you want to move that, Carl, since it was your idea?
no, I don't think we need to, do we?
No, just as long as it's in the minutes of the meeting, we're good.
Oh, okay. So we're authorizing our agent,
Bob Butcher.
we're authorizing him to rebid or solicit for additional bids or reopen the bidding. How are we phrasing that?
I would say we're disqualifying the bid and rebidding the project.
Okay, so we're authorizing him to rebid the project.
You know what? On second thought, can we get a vote on that?
Yeah.
I
Sure.
move it.
Okay.
I
I'll
second.
second it.
Okay.
Okay, you guys can duke it out for who's seconding since you said it simultaneously. All in
Doesn't matter.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, so we are tossing out the original bids and asking for a resubmit of the bids.
Okay. I will get a hold of Bob tomorrow and let him know.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else to discuss from Buildings and Grounds?
I don't know, Ron, do you have anything else?
No, we're good. That's the only project that's going on. Holly, we didn't get the final bill for the boiler project, did we?
I don't think so. I think we got the sign wrapped up, but not the boiler.
Okay.
There was a second one on the boiler. Well, it's at 182 now. I
Okay.
can't remember offhand if that is one or two pieces, but I do think that was an increase. So I'm not sure if that was the final one or not, to tell you the truth.
No, it should have been over 200,000.
Okay.
So maybe we're just waiting on them to close the project out totally then. I'll get a hold of Craig from Labella tomorrow.
Okay. So Personnel Committee, we don't really have anything to discuss, but we do have the personnel actions.
Yes. Thank you. I was going to mention that, so thank you.
So who wants to move that?
I'll move it.
Okay. Who wants to second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Awesome. Election and continuity. Anything that we need to discuss, Phyllis?
Phyllis?
Where's Phyllis?
You're muted, Phyllis.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I have a question
Oh,
Go ahead, Bonnie.
just about how the utilities and fees were described in the last billing, because it looks like there are at least 2 or 3 different bills for the same day. Can you tell me?
Well, we've already gone through that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before you came on.
Sorry.
No, I do apologize, Bonnie. Next time I'll make some distinguishing. Those are for West, Big Flats, Horseheads, and Elmira. And
Thank you.
sure, the largest one, the 85, I'm sorry, Steel, West, Horseheads, and Big Flats. I'm not sure if that's what I said, but about 2/3 of each payment is utilities. I believe Horseheads didn't have any maintenance fees. The first one, the 266.34 is Big Flats, and that was 2/3 utilities and just 1/3 maintenance. The second, the 1152 is utilities for Horseheads, and they had no maintenance. And again, the 264 was West, 2/3 of that was utilities, and the same way with the big one for Steel, 2/3 of that was utilities, and then the other third, the 1,500, were maintenance fees.
Thank you, Holly.
More clear cut
And
next time.
And I apologize for repetition, but this
Yeah,
is our
that's
dinner hour and I'm trying to make dinner while we're talking, so. Okay, Phyllis, your turn.
Okay. The Election and Continuity Committee, we have been contacting each other by email, and Sue has told us that everything is on time and going along fine, and we're ready. The only thing I want to be sure to remind everybody that please vote for yourself and have some other people vote for you. All those running, so that we get at least a few votes for each person that's running. That's all I have.
What about absentee ballots?
We have made up absentee ballots and put them in the libraries so people can pick them up if they want to.
Do you know whether anybody is doing that?
Not yet.
I doubt it.
So
Nobody has
Horseheads
asked.
is all ready to go?
Yes, yes, Horseheads has, and I've gone up and looked at how they're gonna do it. Ron has too. And the staff there showed me where they were gonna do it, and Sue's happy with that. We're all set.
Where are they going to do it?
Right toward the front. When you go in the door, it's let's see,
To the right?
at the front door, it's on the right, way toward the windows. They're taking those tables they've got there now out and setting it up there.
It's where the lounge is right now.
Okay. And is Steele going to be in the auditorium?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Phyllis.
Okay.
We don't have an advocacy committee, really.
No.
We haven't met really.
Yeah.
But I understood from the minutes that one of the librarians at West was working on a new brochure of some sort, a new card. What do you
Michelle?
call those?
The rack.
Michelle
The rack
from
card.
West
Have you
Elmira is
seen
working
it?
on the rack card. All she needs now is new pictures of the branches, which John from the Makerspace was going to take care of. Once she has the pictures, it's good to go.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do? So I move that we have Ron sign the bills since we're not there to do it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Ron is authorized to sign for the bills.
All righty.
Wow, I can't believe I almost forgot that. That would have been bad. Sorry, you were saying about the rack cards, and then I interrupted with.
Oh, that's all right. Well, I just thought letters to the editor is another way of advocating for the library. Since we can't be meeting very easily, it's hard to get a committee together, but there's different ways we can reach out. And I think the candidates who are running can effectively do some of that on their own by just reaching to the friends and, letting them know how important it is to vote and where to vote. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I belong to a Wednesday morning club with 80 people who belong to it. We're having our meetings by Zoom. And I did announce at that meeting that they still had a library budget on the other side of the ballot.
Yes.
And would they please vote for the library? So we're trying in any way we can think of to.
Yes, if my letter to the editor gets printed, I also mentioned that turn the general election ballot over and vote for the library budget. However, I did not mention any of the trustees who are running in my letter. So that's something that someone else might want to cover if they're writing a letter to the editor.
Okay. Anything else to report?
Nope.
Okay, then we're gonna, I move that we enter executive session so we can discuss contracts, employee contracts, and the healthcare plan. So can I get a second, please?
Sure.
Don't you mean we need to go into executive session?
Yes, there we go. All in
Second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have entered executive. So during, okay, the board by consensus agrees that the Guardian plan, Guardian dental plan should be offered to the union and to replace our current plan. Is there any old business? Is there any new business?
I just have a question.
Okay.
I have a neighbor who is a volunteer at the Arnett, and she just wears a regular mask. And I thought, the ones we were making, are we allowed to buy any of those, Ron? Probably the library can't sell it.
We
but
can't
could
sell. We can't sell. I mean, if she's working at the hospital, I say grab a couple for her if you need to.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a backlog of them. I mean, we're prepared for the next 3 plagues.
Oh, so you do have extra ones, and I could always give a donation to the library.
Yeah, yeah.
But they have been selling the face shields. You can buy face shields through the makerspace. Is that what, did she need a face shield or a mask?
A face shield.
I think they're selling them for $2. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I can.
I thought you meant the mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, actually, so one of the things that we did at the Chemung County Historical Society is we got masks with our logo on them and like a covering history since 1923. Is that something that we as a library want to sell the way that we sell CCLD bags?
Oh, gosh.
We could look into the cost of it.
Yeah, I mean, if it costs more to make than it would to like bring in profits, I'd say like screw it. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the bags are actually just sold at cost, so they're kind of a wash, but they are enjoyed and they're good. They're good swag, they're good promo. So even if they could just cut their loss, but.
Oh, maybe
Well,
that's
it's
part
just-
of the
just an
advocacy
idea.
committee.
Um,
Look into that.
Okay. Is there any additional new business? Is there any public expression? Okay. In that case, I move we adjourn. Can I
Second?
get a second? Okay, Bonnie seconds. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. I'd
Have a
say
good
go on
evening.
home, but we're already there.
Yeah. It's time to eat.
Night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.